Ang kulit niyo ikaw ah. Paborito ka ni Daddy.
Ma, insumi ni Papa oh.
Miss ka na namin, Papa. Ang kulit niyo ikaw ah. Paborito ka ni Daddy.
Ma, insumi ni Papa oh.
Miss ka na namin, Papa.
Hope everyone's having a great and safe night. Medyo maulan ngayon, ha?
Yeah.
Welcome, everyone, to episode 9. Nakaka-9 na tayo, attorney.
Yeah.
If Life Matters, I'm Ren Agawa. What's up, JD?
I'm good. Annyeonghaseyo, Ren. Good evening to our viewers.
Ano? Pagbibigyan kita dyan, no? Kung ano man ang pinapanood mo ngayon sa Netflix, medyo bawas-bawasan mo.
So before we start, we'd like to remind our viewers in our Facebook page to click like. So the Facebook page of St. Peter Lifeline and Chapels. And for those watching through YouTube, please don't forget to click subscribe and the bell so that you can be informed of any new episodes that we have. And then, again, we have been asked by CM Renji Ocana of Vice Chapel on why...
Grabe, may name drop pa.
Yeah!
Siya ba talaga nagtanong yan? No?
Yeah, siya talaga. Sabi niya, why is St. Peter Lifeline and Chapels producing a show like Life Matters?
Bakit nga ba?
Bakit nga ba? So I told her that this is St. Peter's way of doing public service to its plan holders and clients, that despite the nature of our industry, we would like to inform our viewers and our plan holders and clients on how to live their life to the fullest by giving them tips and guides because life matters.
Life matters. Attorney, alam mo na ang nalilito talaga ako. Ano ba ang tamang pronunciation? YouTube ba o YouTube? YouTube? Pag nakakarinig ako ng mga celebrity, YouTube eh. YouTube ba talaga?
It seems it's YouTube.
sa kakahanap mo ng tamang perfect lighting sa YouTube, YouTube talaga ang naririnig mo.
Yeah!
Alam mo,
foreigners.
You know what, Tony? I'm really hyped for tonight's episode because tonight we will be enlightened. That's the key word. Mabibigla kayo kung sino ang guest namin. We will be enlightened on how we can achieve freedom. Financial freedom. Yan ang topic natin. Medyo break muna tayo sa pagiging health conscious natin. Tonight, we will be enlightened. Yeah, how to achieve financial freedom. So, without further ado, Ryan, let's go. Who's our guest for tonight?
What's the best thing money can buy? Hindi mabibili ng pera ang kaligayahan o pag-ibig. Pero hindi natin maitatanggi that money makes the world go round. Kaya sasamahan tayo ngayon ni Mr. Marvin Hermo, CEO of Stock Smarts Incorporated, to help us develop a stronger understanding of basic financial concepts so we can handle our finances better. Dito sa Life Matters. #Financial Freedom.
What's up, pare?
Hello, hi.
Nakakita ka ng konti. Para nakikita ka ng...
Nahirapan ako. Nalilito talaga ako sa
engineering community.
So hard, so complicated.
Parang ngayon ka lang na-interview, Grabe, We have an internet celebrity tonight.
So,
Gitna ka ng konti.
Yan, okay.
Yan. Sayang naman yung mamahaling corner mo dyan, pare.
Sobra.
Kung di ka gigitna.
Sobra.
Kumusta Mr. Marvin Hermo?
Okay naman, it's an honor to be invited by Ren Agawa na sa lahat ng classmates ko sa Ateneo a decade ago. Siya yung doon pa lang. Sobrang yaman na niya. I will never forget what he said. Tinanong ko sa kanya, Ren, do you trade the stock market? Sabi niya, no, I don't
trade.
We
are about to end the show.
Sabi niya, kinakamusta mo ako eh. Sabi niya, I don't trade. I only invest because rich people invest. Yun sabi niya sa akin. Sabi ko, wow, sorry. So yun, mula na naramdaman ko sobrang hirap ko pala nun pag natabi ka sa isang idol.
Kikiting nga sa'yo, matagal-tagal na rin tayo magkasama.
Totoo.
Yeah, decade. No? Si Marvin yung sa klase na nagdi-discuss yung teacher. Siya lang ang hindi nakikinig for some reason. He has his laptop always open. No? Talagang parang ginagawa, nakatingin lang siya sa chart, no? Wala siyang pakialam sa sinasabi ng teacher. Basta importante ma-monitor lang niya yung takbo ng stock market. That's how special this guy is, no? It's how weird he is.
Feeling ko accounting yung topic nun. Feeling ko yung accounting na topic.
Most likely.
Oh,
Most likely.
anin ko tong liquidity ratio na to. Anyways.
Okay, so that ends our show for tonight.
Because life matters.
Because life matters.
I got
Happy
it.
weekend. Ay, pare, mabilis ang oras. Diretso na tayo. Kidding aside, pare, how are you this pandemic?
Okay naman. I've been at home. I rarely went out the past 14 months. Siguro it's awesome lang that because we are in an era na lahat pwede mong gawin online. I think if this pandemic happened 20 years ago, sobrang hirap eh. The fact na, hindi mo papasok ka sa mall, meron ka ng electronic na thermometer, paano mo gagawin yung 20 years ago? So, how will you spot that? Ngayon, it's easier because of every advancement that we have in technology. So, yun, I guess I'm grateful that I get to stay at home throughout all of this. Pero meron rin nakaka-miss na mga items, pero okay pa rin.
Buti na lang we have, as far as technology is concerned, kahit pa paano nakakasabay tayo, nasusundan mo yung mga milyones mo, pare, no?
Sobra.
Can you just...
Baka naman bilyones na.
By the way, we have Attorney Justin pala, no? On the right side of your screen.
Naku, may attorney, so I can neither confirm nor deny that statement.
Dude, there's like 3 of us here, alright? Attorney, napansin mo ba ngayon tayo nagkaroon ng guest na nakasuit, ha? Tignan mo naman, medyo na-awkward ako, naka-collared shirt lang ako.
Yun yung respeto ko, sobrang yaman ni Ren Nagawa. Yun yung respect the host eh. Nakakaya.
Dude, let's go! Pare, muna tayo sa show proper na. Show proper, the first question is, who do you think will win? Will it be Utah or the Clippers?
Okay. Clippers.
We won't be talking about your LeBron, right? Officially
Clippers,
he's out.
Clippers.
I know you're very sad, but you have to accept the fact that he's out, at least for the season, right? So we ignore the Lakers for the time being. We put the Clippers on the conversation. So it's Clippers. Pare, what is financial freedom?
At akala ko seryoso yung Clippers, mag-analyze pa naman ako. They have so much wing defenders. Gagawin pa sana ako.
Okay, come on, let's go. It's financial freedom, pare. So I know as far as finances is concerned, you are the guy to consult on this one. I mean, it's your advocacy. I mean, for the longest time, that at least that's what I know. That's your advocacy for people to achieve financial freedom. So, what is financial freedom, to be exact?
Syempre, iba-iba yung definition ng financial freedom for every person, no? But I can only share what its definition is to me. Financial freedom for me is, it's never about how much you make. It's never about if it's billions, multi-millions, millions. It's literally the ability to live life at your own terms. So meaning, that could be 100,000 pesos, that could be 500,000 pesos, that could be 10 million pesos. It doesn't matter. It's the ability na kung ayaw mo na magtrabaho, you have either enough assets or savings that, or at least cash flow that can back it up also. So that's freedom. And syempre, that's predicated on kung mataas yung lifestyle mo, of course, you need to invest more. Kung mas mababa yung lifestyle mo, you live in a place na hindi naman mahal yung kuryente, yung rent, or pati pagkain, your number to be financially free is smaller. And yung definition ng financial freedom is different. Like for me, hindi ako sa akin na,
dude, you gotta be honest, okay? Hindi, wala.
I would never, wala akong ambisyon bumili ng yate, wala akong ambisyon na bumili, what you would see on YouTube na gusto na bumili ng Lambo, ganun, etc. That's not me. I just like, makain ko lang yung gusto kong kainin.
Dude, I just said you gotta be honest, okay?
Oo nga, makain ko lang yung gusto kong kainin when I want mahilig ako sa kape, and then yung occasional na travel. Basically that's it. So yung definition na yun is different for everyone, pero it has to come to a point na na whatever they've saved up or invested can take care of whatever they're spending, even if they choose not to work.
JD?
So, to follow up, how different is financial freedom from financial independence? Is it the
Ah,
same?
Hindi ba parehas lang yun?
I think it's semantics lang, same lang. Yeah, I think it's pareho lang. At least from my perspective, if you're financially free and financially independent, it's the same, at least from my context.
As a follow
Nakakaba pag lawyer eh, parang nakakatakot. Di ko alam kung dapat ba proper yung reply ko or ano.
Pare, ayusin mo yung mga pronoun mo. Yung mga noun, ha? Yung mga adjective mo, may kasama tayong lawyer
Kaya
ngayon.
nga, kaya nga.
Hindi to tayo-tayo lang, pare, ha?
So, as a follow-up question, Marvin,
Ayan, may follow-up question na.
Oo.
Kaya sinasabi ko sa'yo, kulang yung sagot mo.
Is having savings enough for you to say that you have financial freedom? And as another follow-up question, is budgeting of expenses part of financial freedom?
Those are all good questions. How do I answer this? Number one, budget, but depends on how you look at it. Kasi budgeting is important, meaning especially pag nasa point ka ng buhay mo that sakto lang yung pumapasok, na kailangan talagang nakalista lahat. Ito papasok sa grocery, ito papasok sa kuryente, ito papasok sa pangkain sa labas. I think budgeting at a certain point is very, very essential para at least alam mo what's coming in, alam mo what's coming out, and you're not overspending. And it's very, very useful kasi kahit ako, I graduated from college 2005. Si Ren, alam ko 1998 nagtatrabaho na siya. So ako 2005.
Now I feel old.
so
Para kaya sabi mo lang kanina, magkaklase tayo 10 years ago.
ano na yun eh, postgrad. So pwede naman magkaklase kahit malaki age gap eh. So anyway, when I started out, and similar to all of us, pag nagsisimula tayo sa trabaho, yung sweldo natin mababa lang eh. And budgeting,
Well, not you.
hindi mababa. Sweldo ko na nag-start.
Sweldo mo agad, nasa 20. Grabe kong
Hindi, 15 ako, 15.
Starting
15,000
20.
15,000 pesos, and then I think may allowance ako na 1.5. Pag tinanggal mo pa yung tax noon, tapos may kaltas pa sa medical benefits, parang 12,000 a month yata noon at that time. Pero budgeting was so essential for me because I made sure na yung 6,000 every 15 days nagkakasya na. I made sure also that nakakapag-save ako ng 1,500 pesos per month noon. I had to make sure about that. And may negative connotation kasi yung budgeting sa Pilipino eh. Na pag nagbabudget ka, titipid mo sarili mo. Pag nagbabudget ka, kuripot ka. Pero what they don't realize is, if you don't know how to control your money, money will take control of you. Budgeting is a way for you to put a name to every peso that comes your way. And that's why up until now, been working for nag-graduate ako 2005, so 16 plus years, nagbabudget pa rin ako. Never nagbago yun. It's needed when you're starting. It's needed also when you are older. To the second question about savings, depende. Savings will protect you if you have a large amount of savings. For example, kunyari gastos mo per month, sample lang to, para simple lang, 10,000 pesos, buhay ka na doon. So that means 120,000 pesos a year, buhay ka na. So for example, 50 years old ka. So meaning, kinumpute mo, kunyari yung mga ancestors ko na buhay until 80. So 50 ka ngayon, tingin mo mabubuhay ka until 80 of 30 years. So what if meron ka na ipon na 30 million pesos? Sample lang. So that could be enough already na tustusan lahat ng gastos mo until mamatay ka. Assuming hindi tumaas yung inflation. So the reason why I say that is this. Hindi naman lahat, pag ganun yung ginawa mo, mauubos yung pera mo. That's why it has to come to a point where a portion of what you have is also invested para meron kang portion na liquid na pwede mong gamitin, meron kang portion also that alam mo na, okay, may natabi akong 2 million pesos. By year 10, at least 2 million pesos pa rin siya. Hindi siya masyado lalaki, pero alam mo may 2 million ka. Then, there has to be a portion that's invested na nandun yung delta also that kaya niyang palitan or bayaran yung iba mong expenses. Not today, but sometime in the future.
Pare, I know that you're itching to go into investments, pero mamaya, mamaya pupuntahan natin yan. Pero to our audience, we want this show to be as interactive as possible. No? So we really want everyone to be engaged. So kung may tanong kayo, ilagay nyo lang doon sa ating Facebook page and we'll try our best to accommodate all questions. Okay? Now, pare, I know it's a no-brainer for financial freedom to be a life goal. No? Kailangan talagang nakaset na yan sa perspective ng isang tao. No? But how early ba should I set it as a life goal? Lalo na ako, mid-20s, di ba? So, dapat ba as early as now, as a mid-20s person, nakaset na yung aking financial freedom as a life goal? Ba't di ka tumatawa pa rin? Mukhang talaga naniniwala.
Then, I got lost eh. Kala ko nagkikwento ka nung buhay mo noong 1990s and mid-20s ka. So inisip ko, nagkikwento ba siya ng history or something? So,
Dude, no, kidding aside, how early ba?
Okay.
I said is and teka lang, para dire-diretso ang pagsagot mo. Career-wise, does it significantly affect it? Yung trabaho mo, will it affect your life, your life goal as far as financial freedom is concerned? And paano ito, realistically speaking, no? What if kung nasa 40s ka na or 50s, no? Do you think na it's too late for people in this age bracket to achieve financial freedom? So yun, in that order.
Amazing questions. Number one, the earlier you get to start, the better. Because
So pwede maaga-maaga, mid-20s.
mid-20s, tama lang, sakto ka lang, saktong-sakto. Because
I have to start now.
Unbeknownst to many, people always talk about that para makabit mo yung financial freedom, para ma-accelerate yun, magnegosyo ka, mag-franchise ka, mag-stocks ka, mag-cryptocurrencies ka. Pero what they don't realize, the greatest asset that you will ever have is time. And if there's one thing I know about money is, perang nawala, nababalik . Pero oras na nawalan, never mo na mababalik yun . If there's one thing people should focus on, place a greater preference on time than anything else. Because whatever you spend your time on, you can never take it back anymore . So, if you'll ask me, the moment you realize it after this show na kailangan mo ng pagtuunan yun, better do it now. Because money that's not invested or money that's not saved towards a particular goal, you're losing ground . So, I guess because of our culture, hindi siya napag-uusapan. We as a Philippine, as a nation, we like talking more about celebrities. We like talking more of, gusto natin mang-away sa political views natin, sa religious views for some reason. Doon tayo magaling. But when you look at other cultures, they like talking about ideas sa dining table. They always talk about different principles about business or investing, things like that. Is it too late if you're in your 40s and 50s? I'm a firm believer that it's never too late, regardless of what age you are in. Yun nga lang, the older you get, the more intentional you have to be sa pag-save, sa pag-invest. The lesser mistakes you can make. You cannot take a lot of risks as those who are in their 20s. Pero this is what I want to tell people also. If you're in your 40s, if you're in your 50s, that's young. Life is long. What if you live until 90, meaning nasa gitna ka pa lang ? So that gives you also the ability to look at it from that perspective. People always say na, hala, 45 ako, 50 na ako, sayang yung 20 plus years na nagtatrabaho ko. It's never too late. And I'll say this before I end this answer. People always glamorize Warren Buffett, Henry C. What people don't know is Warren Buffett made his first billion, 50 plus na siya. Then after that, dun lang nag-cascade lahat. Ganun din si Henry C. He made his first small, 50 plus na siya. So, life is long. If there's one thing that I know that's so relevant to everyone watching this pagdating sa pera or business or sa investments, aside from time being important, patience is too. Kaya madami na sa scam na Pilipino kasi gusto nila yumaman in the next 10 minutes . It doesn't work that way .
Pare, so ibig sabihin, hinahawakan mo pa rin yung mga lipanto mo, Ganun ba?
Wala. Wala.
Ano, you're talking about patience. Dude, we have a question here from Miss Alma Pasqua. She's asking, would you agree that self-control is one way to have financial freedom?
Hmm.
Nagko-control ka sa mga gastos. Gusto mong bumili ng yate, ng helicopter. Wag muna. BMX muna. No, kidding aside, that's a very good question. Go ahead.
Self-control is important in a way that kunyari nag-sale sa Shopee 66 tsaka sa Lazada, kung babalik siya sa budget mo na kung nasa budget mo naman siya, kahit talagang alam mo luho, okay, I think okay lang. Pero kunyari budget mo 2,000 pesos para sa damit na to, yung damit na nandun 2,500, that's where self-control comes in na hindi, kailangan ko lang bilhin 2,000. Or kung nabili mo na yung budget mo for, kunyari, milk tea, budget mo lang 800 pesos per month, naka 800 ka na, kahit napadaan ka sa stall ng milk tea, kahit tempted ka na, dun yung self-control also. And I think it plays a very, very big part also. Pero, bigger than that also is, ano yung substance that will give you self-control? Bakit ka nagtitipid? Bakit mo dideprive sarili mo ngayon? Kasi meron kang goal in the future that's bigger than the present. And that's so hard for Filipinos to understand that you're depriving yourself for the present because you're looking for something in the future. Ang hirap nun bakit ako magtitipid ngayon baka 10 years from now hindi na ako buhay, or bakit ako magtitipid ngayon gusto ko na siya enjoyin And that's a very, very hard concept to grasp.
So parang delayed gratification.
Yeah, you nailed it. And that's what budgeting is also, because it's a balance. A budget is a priority system, meaning pina-prioritize mo, okay, ito yung savings ko, ito yung insurance ko, ito yung investments ko na hindi ko ma-enjoy ngayon, pero paglalagyan ko siya ng pera ngayon, then meron pa rin akong portion ng budget ko today which I can actually use also to buy the stuff that I need or want also. So yun.
So to clarify, parang it appears that your expenses are the ones that you should control, but not the savings. Tama, no? Kumbaga, if you set a goal for savings, let's say, you mentioned earlier, you saved 1,500 earlier in your career every month as savings. So you will touch the other parts of your income to adjust that you need to have 1,500 in savings on a monthly basis. Tama ba?
Sort of. But let me explain it from my context that I made it a priority that whatever money comes in, I will allot my savings first. Tapos kung ano matira, pagkakasyahin ko na lang. So something I think it's almost the same also, but yung pinaka context ko was I had to prioritize my savings first. I had to prioritize my future first. Kasi bakit? If you inuna mo sa budget mo yung Meralco, which is important also na kailangan mo bayaran yung bills mo, or inuna mo sa budget yung pang shopping mo, mayaman na si Meralco mayaman na SM Paano naman sarili mo? It's time that you try also to fund your dreams and your future first. Kaya ako siya inuna, which is hard,
Yeah.
na parang gusto ko na to bilhin ngayon gano'n. So something like that.
Kasi 'di ba parang typical for Filipinos in general na they prioritize the expenses, which is correct naman. And then they will just say na I will just save 500 instead of 1,500 because tumaas yung expenses ko or something. So I just want to make clear lang na in your example, you really need to prioritize savings for you to have that financial freedom. Tama ba yung
Yeah, and to add context to that, that's what makes it more, in my opinion, super exciting. Bakit? For example, kinumpute mo, kaya you nailed it in the head na sobrang importante ng budget So pag linista mo, kunyari sweldo mo, sabihin natin 15,000 yung pumapasok. Na-compute mo na, teka, gastos ko per month is 16,000 Paano ako makakapag-save ng 1,500 niyan? At that point in time, that was even a challenge for me to earn more. People need to realize this, that if you're earning 15,000, gastos mo 16,500, it's not a problem of spending less. It's a problem also of trying to earn more. So, pag nakita mo, goal mo 1.5 eh. Eh, dahil mas malaki gastos mo, 500 lang masasave mo, that should be a challenge for you to be able to earn more. And it allows you to become more creative eh, na ito kailangan ko eh. So, what can I do to earn that extra 1,000?
Correct. So, I think as a next question, so what's your take on insurance, Marvin? Is it more of an expense or a necessity? And what do you get from it?
What kind of insurance?
I suppose it's
Any kind of insurance. Well, life insurance. Okay.
There's life, non-life, then sa life yung mga...
Let's go sa life insurance.
Oh.
Okay. Life insurance is similar to all kinds of insurance. It's a hedge, meaning when things don't go the way you plan it to be.
Can you explain more when you say a hedge? What do you mean about that?
Ayun, I was leading to that na pag ito plano mo makuha, pero something happens in between na hindi mo makuha yun, yung life insurance yung magiging pagsalba mo or something that can also bridge the gap. For example,
it's your plan B.
Safety net.
It's your plan B.
Safety net or in a way, no, for example, kinompute mo na kailangan mo ng, sabihin natin, 2 million para sa tuition ng anak mo pag nag-college siya in 10 years. So, kinompute mo also na, okay, yung 2 million na to, magagawa ko to pag nagtabi ako ng 8,000 pesos per month. Sample lang. So, nasa gitna ka na ng cycle na yun, tapos suddenly something happens na either you're disabled or you pass away. So, there's an interruption in between for the being you na ikaw yung kumikita. Wala kang pangdagdag sa tuition ng anak mo. Yung life insurance, because yun yung hedge na sinasabi natin that if something happens, kaya niya i-bridge yung gap na okay, wala na yung breadwinner, ito yung insurance amount, yung anak mo can still go to college. Something like that.
Yes, yes.
Or sorry, I'll make it also super simple kasi a lot of people will say that pag nag-life insurance ka, hindi naman ikaw makikinabang eh. Makikinabang yung mga yung other people na buhay pa na wala ka na. What if you die sa hospital? How will you pay for the bills? Will you allow your family members to go into debt because you did not prepare? Life insurance it's not about being morbid. It's about being responsible that if something happens to you, at the very least, may starting point yung family mo na hindi sila malulubog sa utang. Ang dami ko nang nakita, sobrang dami na namatay yung breadwinner, nalubog sila sa utang, it became even harder for them to get out of it. At least you're giving them a fighting chance already, a level playing field that because of you, hindi sila mahihirapan to at least find a new source of income.
So, between expense and necessity, you're saying that it's a necessity. Yes, yeah. I mean, considering the risks that you don't have control, diba? And as you've mentioned, it works like a hedge, you know. If things would go not according to plan, that is your plan B. It's like making sure that your loved ones will be able to meet yung mga pangangailangan nila just in case things go according to plan, diba? Marvin, we have a question here. Ito pare, mukhang fan mo to. Hello, Sir Marvin. From Rochi. I'm one of the inspired viewers ninyo sa YouTube. Pare, sabi ko sa'yo, alam mo, nagulat talaga ako. Marami palang nanonood dito. Sabi ko, naniniwala kayo dito. I mean, okay lang po ba, sabi niya, to prioritize insurance and investments first bago ang savings. So as far as hierarchy is concerned, yung investments nasa taas, savings nasa baba. Well, what can you say about that?
Ako, I'll share from what I did. I prioritize savings. I always prioritize savings. Savings is super important. Because kung it gives you that liquidity, meaning I'll give you an example. Okay, may investment ka, may insurance ka, pero nawalan ka ng trabaho bukas. Hindi mo naman pwede gamitin yung insurance mo pambili ng isda the next day eh. That's what I'm saying eh. Pero when you have savings,
Paano yung mga Bitcoin mo, pare?
it gives you that buffer. I don't see Bitcoin as savings. I see Bitcoin as the future.
Let's go back to savings. You were talking about savings, pare. Go.
So yun, savings is so important. The reason why I guess people ask that is because nanghihinayang sila eh. Pag nag-save ako ng pera, hindi naman kikita siya sa bangko eh. Pero unahin nyo na muna yun. Stockpile on that so that pag nabuo nyo na yung savings na kailangan nyo, iba yung tapang nyo sa negosyo eh. Iba yung tapang nyo sa investments eh. That yung pwede na kayo magkaroon ng mentality na pag nag-invest kayo kahit mag-zero to, okay lang ako eh. And that should be the mentality when you start to invest eh. Dapat, it should be money na kahit mawala siya, okay lang because it's an excess. The reason why a lot of people get scared also sa investing is because wala silang savings. So, kung may savings ka, you can do and get into businesses and investments that a lot of people will think are risky. Pero because alam mo may buffer ka na kahit anong mangyari, hindi masisira yung lifestyle mo, okay yun. So, ako savings first. Then, ito yung interesting. We mentioned about hierarchy, no? Pero para sa akin, it's not a question of worry. It's a question of ande. Life insurance is cheap right now. You can invest for 50 pesos right now. So, kahit magtabi ka ng 5,000 every month sa savings mo, you can still get insurance and you can also get investments. So, we are at an era right now na hindi mo kailangan ng sobrang laking pera para pagsabayin lahat yun.
You got a ratio for that? I mean, as far like 100%, how much would you put into savings? How much would you put into your investments?
Okay. This is what I do. It would depend on what you're saving for. So, pwedeng emergency fund ba yan, or buffer fund ba yan, or wedding fund ba yan? Kasi I'm pretty much a saver. Di ko alam ni Rento na wala pa akong girlfriend noon, nag-ipon na ako ng pangkasal. So, lahat ng mga kaibigan ko, pinagtatawanan ako ng parang lakas ng
Narinig ko na yan.
Bakit nag-ipon ng pangkasal? Wala ka pa naman girlfriend. Laki ng pananalig mo kay Lord. So, depends on what you are saving for, in my opinion. So, is that saving for a business that you want to start? Is that a saving for para may pan-down ka ng bahay? Is that a saving for para pag bibili ka ng kotse, you have a larger lump sum amount already? So para patas siya, let's just say it's for your emergency fund. That you would look at and see a lot of books or a lot of videos that are talking about 6 months emergency fund, 12 months emergency fund. But in my opinion, it should be kung ano yung comfortable ka na level. Kasi magkakaiba tayo eh. Pwedeng ikaw yung emergency fund mo kasi yung tatay mo may diabetes. Yung isa naman tao, hindi naman siya breadwinner, they're self-sustaining. The one that mas madami nakasalalay sa kanya, dapat mas malaki emergency fund. So,
exactly.
You pick a number that you're comfortable with, and then you aim towards that. So, regardless if it's 500,000, 5 million, 50 million pesos, you aim towards that, then ito gagawin ko. So sabihin natin 2 million. Hala, laki ng 2 million. Ibig ba sabihin nun, I wait for I get to hit 2 million before I get to start invest. Ito gagawin ko. So for example, sweldo ko, bigyan mo ako ng amount rin. Na kaya magbigay ng amount kay rin kasi pag sobrang yaman ka usap mo, na kaya magbigay ng maliit eh. Ano,
we are going to end the show like right now.
What's an amount? Give me an amount. So, ako na lang, sample.
Like a million.
Sweldo 1 million. Grabe.
Sweldo 20, yan. No?
Okay, so 20,000. So for example 20, tapos after doing all of your budgeting, yung pwede mo lang talagang itabi, isabihin natin 2,500. So what I'll do is this. 2,000 pesos I'll set aside for my savings. 500, I'll try to allot that to investment opportunities. Hindi mo kaya yaman yung 500, pero two things. It gives you exposure and it gives you experience. And in the world of investing, that's more important than money. Because all the money in the world, without experience and without exposure, mawawala yung pera. So, start small with that 500 so that pag nabuo mo na yung savings mo, alam mo na yung gagawin mo. Because when you are asking what's the best investment, that means you're not supposed to invest yet. Because when you already have the experience, hindi mo natatanungin yun eh. Kasi alam mo na kung ano yung nag-work para sa inyo. Kasi magkakaiba nag-work para sa atin eh. So, there.
we just need to have a really short break. After this, meron tayong, Ryan, can you show the question kanina ni Miss Rona? Yeah. Miss Rona is asking, you mentioned savings, insurance, and investments. Ang tanong niya, how do they differ from each other? And kailangan ba na merong kanyang lahat for you to have financial freedom? Alright? So yan ang sasagutin mo, pare, when we, sa aming muling pagbabalik dito sa Life Matters.
Kala ko yun na yung segment natin. Okay.
Not yet.
Mamaya pa. Let's take a break.
Parang kailan lang, nung nag-aaral pa ako, lagi kang nasa tabi ko. Kahit napagod ka, pipilitin mo pa rin akong tulungan, kahit abutin tayo ng umaga. Natuto ako sa mga aral na paulit-ulit yung sinasabi at pinapaalala. Kahit minsan, nakakasawa. Pero ma, pa, tama pala kayo. Kaya kong tumayo sa sarili kong mga paa. Matapang na harapin ang mga pagsubok sa buhay. Nang dahil sa paggabay niyo. Alam ko, lagi niyo pa rin akong binabantayan. Ma, pa, salamat sa lahat.
And we're back. And he's not yet there.
He's there.
The question kanina, Rona was asking, do you need to have insurance, and then meron kang savings, and then investments, all of those to achieve financial freedom? Kailangan ba lahat yon, or baka pwedeng ito muna and this one also? What's your take on that one?
It goes back to our definition of financial freedom earlier, na you have assets that can take care of your expenses. That's basically it. So it could be just one of them. It could be, for example, nakamana ka ng 40 million pesos, cash lahat yun, savings lang yun. You may not need to invest anymore for you to be able to be financially free because you have that lump sum already. So it can be one of them, it can be all of them, but this is what people need to realize. Savings, investments, and insurance, iba-iba yung purpose niyan eh. Insurance is there to protect you, savings is there to give you liquidity, investments is there to make your money work hard for you. So iba-ibang facets yan eh. You don't compare yung trabaho ng mata mo sa kamay mo, you don't compare yung trabaho ng paa mo sa tuhod mo, because they all have a different role, they all have a different part to play.
So what you're saying is, you have to be aware kung ano ang gamit niya. There might be an instance na hindi mo sila kayang pagsabay-sabayin, but for as long as you know how to use it, then most likely you'll be able to achieve financial freedom. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, and I guess the knowledge of kailan mo siya kailangan. Kasi for
Yes.
example, let me give
You
you
have
an
to have
example.
that foresight. That's what you're saying, di ba? You have to have that foresight.
Here's one example. Iba yung insurance na kailangan mo pag 40 years old ka, tas anak mo elementary pa lang, versus 60 years old ka, tas graduate na sila lahat. So it varies because it depends on what life stage you are already. I'll give you another example. Nung classmate tayo over a decade ago,
Do you really need to say that's over a decade ago?
ano, bakit nagpapabata ka ba?
Mid-20s.
Ano ba
Mid-20s.
disclosure mo dyan, 20s? Okay. Okay.
Those are good times, by the way. Those are good times.
Yeah, this is the highlight of my year already, makasama si Ren Agawa. Wala tuloy yung sasabihin ko. Ayun.
Nung magkasama tayo a decade ago.
When we were younger, yung mga stocks na binibili ko dati versus yung stocks na binibili ko ngayon, sobrang magkaiba na. Yung dati, ayaw ko yung mga nagbibigay ng dividends kasi sabi ko, boring naman. Ba't ako bibili ng preferred shares? Ba't ako bibili ng bonds? Ngayon, sobrang gustong-gusto ko siya because when everything shut down nung March 2020, alam ko April 2020 magkano makukuha ko. And that was something that I would not think about more than a decade ago. So yun.
Yeah. Dati pare, ang mga love na love mo, mga Lepanto, Kalata, diba? Yan ang mga pinopromote. Pasensya na, medyo kailangan natin bilisan. We still have some questions here. If I want to invest, punta na tayo sa investment. I want to invest my money to achieve financial freedom. Okay? I think na nasagot mo na to pero just expound on this one. What should I consider? You were talking about purpose kanina, di ba? Can you go deeper into it? When we talk about purpose, how exactly, what does it exactly mean when you say purpose?
Yung intentionality of you saving or investing for a specific goal. Na, for example, going deeper into it also is kailangan mo kung anong number na kailangan mo para maging financially free. Kasi minsan, you ask any normal person, bakit ka mag-invest? Kasi gusto ko yumaman. Hindi pwede yun. Hindi pwede dahil gusto mo yumaman.
You gotta give me a number.
Dapat quantifiable.
Yeah.
Bakit ka nag-invest? Gusto ko magkaroon ng 10 million pesos by the time I hit 50 years old. Tapos yung purpose doon, kasi gagamitin ko para dito. That's more important. Planning out for where you are using the money is more important than where you want to invest. Because a lot of people get caught up in that idea na lalagay ko siya dito kasi pag linagay ko dito, dodoble pera ko. Pero what happens kung nagdoble? What do you do? That's why you see a lot of people who make money sa lottery or even in the stock market or the crypto market or any other business out there that walang plano, pag nakuha na nila yung pera, hindi nila alam yung gagawin, nauubos din lahat. So, I think planning for it is more important than where you actually invest it.
Tori, we have a question kay Miss.
Yeah, so there's another question from Miss Alma. Her question is, would it be okay na i-save pero takot akong gamitin ito sa investment? Okay na ako na makita ito sa passbook lang. Am I on the right direction to financial freedom?
That's a good question. How do I answer this? If there's no investments, okay lang naman. However, couple of things. Yung pera mo sa banko, it will lose out to inflation. Everyone knows that. Pero, what you also need to consider is this. Since you are just saving, it will take a longer time for you to do it and you will need to put in a larger amount of money. Kasi meaning, kung linagay mo, sabihin natin, mag-example na lang ako, investment na 100%, example lang to, exaggerated to, yung investment na 100%, meaning kailangan mo lang maglagay ng 1,000 pesos para maging 2,000 pera mo. Pero pag magsisave ka lang na zero talaga yung kinikita niya, that means yung buong 2,000, kailangan mo punuin yun. That's a difference. It will be slower. You have to maybe be more conservative sa paggastos mo kasi kailangan talaga mas ma-imbok mo siya. But what I want to encourage you is this. Okay lang naman yun if you're conservative eh. Pero there are amounts of money that pwede mong i-invest na hindi masisira yung buhay mo eh. Meaning, what's putting 1,000 pesos to invest? Eh minsan sa isang weekend pag nag-mall ka tapos nagwala ka sa mall, magagastos mo yung 1,000 pesos kagad eh. Totoo. I'll even challenge people this. There are investments right now that are 50 pesos lang. Why am I saying this? Mas mahal pa yung milk tea sa mga investments na pwede. So, kung hindi ka nanghihinayang mag-milk tea, dapat sa investments din that okay, say mawala yung buong 50 pesos and maging zero siya, the learning that you will get from losing that 50 pesos will be far more than what you could ever get than school can ever teach you. Kasi alam mo na hindi para sa akin to eh. Magsisave na lang talaga ako. So, yun, that's my take on it.
Dude,
Yeah,
go ahead, Jay.
So parang it's like your tuition fee for you to have financial freedom. That 500 pesos na you're learning on how to do the investments and stuff like that. Is that what you're saying?
Not pwede, pero where can you find something na pumasok ka sa school, nagbayad ka, you don't get a return. nag-invest ka, totoo, pwedeng mawala yun, pero pwede ka rin kumita. Tuition fee in school is, there's still, when you go back to the 1960s and 1970s, totoo yun, may ROI kagad kasi there's a big chance that when you go to school, you get a job kagad. Ngayon, that's not anymore the case eh. You get a diploma, possibly you don't get a job, there's no ROI on your tuition fee. Pero when you invest, what you learn there doesn't have the chance not just to go to zero, pero it can give you also the possibility to even earn. So I think it's even better than school's tuition fee.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Totoo, I'll say this. Kung nagkaanak ako, tapos sinabi niya, Daddy, ayoko na mag-aral, ng college, magsa-stocks na lang ako, papayagan ko. That's
Marvin Hermo for you. No, I mean, that's a different perspective, di ba? That's a different perspective. But it does make sense. It does make sense kahit pa paano. Dude, let's jump on sa credit cards, no? Alam natin maraming tao ang natatrap dyan, but for some reason, talagang kailangan na siya for a lot of transactions, no? What can you say about it? Is there a particular way na tama for credit cards to be managed? Yung tamang paggamit?
I think there's nothing wrong with credit cards eh. It's, I'll say this, the ROI of anything is in who's handling it. Meaning, the ROI of a basketball in LeBron's hands is billions. The ROI of a basketball in my hands is negative. Kasi I
thought you were talking about winning. Okay.
No, money. Is zero because ano alam ko doon. The same din with credit card. It's a tool eh. With or without credit card, kung burara ka sa pera, a credit card just amplifies who you are. Kung burara ka sa pera without a credit card, sira pa rin finances mo. But if you know how to use it properly, when I say you know how to use it properly, sobrang simple lang. You just have to make more than what you spend, or you just have to spend less than what you make. Either of the two, kahit credit card gamit mo, it doesn't matter. As long as you don't use that credit card to spend more than what you're making, you'll be okay. Because sobrang laking tulong ng credit card eh.
It extends your credit, di ba?
Hindi lang yun. Bibili ka ng washing machine, magdadala ka 40,000 pesos sa mall, di ba?
Kaya nga pare, that's what I'm saying. It extends your credit, di ba?
Pero
dahil wala kang dalang cash sa mall, di ba? That card, di ba, represents your credit, di ba?
Totoo, pag si Red nagawa kasi pag bibili ng kotse, may dalang duffel bag. Ayun na yung cash natin. Sige na. Yan ang Red nagawa. Okay, bala na kayo, bilang nyo na yan. Ganun siya.
Pare, namimit ko sa'yo, pare.
So, Marvin, can people achieve financial freedom ba on their own? Or do they need the help of financial advisors, insurance agents? Can they do it on their own?
One of the best ways is to subscribe to St. Peter's YouTube channel para they can achieve financial freedom. Pero seriously, we are in an era right now that information is available everywhere.
Everywhere. Yes.
As in literally everywhere. So I'll give you an example. Lahat tayo, we all grew up not knowing about cryptocurrencies. I had to learn this on the fly also, but because of information being there, there's no, as long as interesado ka, lahat ng gusto mong matutunan, lahat ng gusto mong malaman, you can get it. Siguro it's more of ganito lang. Yung question na yun is, gusto mo bang pumunta sa Baguio na nagbabas ka, or gusto mong pumunta sa Baguio na may kasama ka nagda-drive para sa'yo? So parang ganun lang yung
yes.
It's more of the mode on how you want to reach the destination. Pero even with it or without it will still work. It's more, I think, more of preference lang, or kung gusto mo may kausap ka, or depending also on your type of personality on how you want to learn. So we're all different. That's why if you think it works that may kausap ka lagi, then go for that route. If you think na masaya ka nagbabasa ng libro, go for it also. Kasi maraming tao hindi mahilig magbasa ng libro, pero pag nakikinig sila podcast, they learn a lot also. So it depends on how you consume the information. Yun yung
so what you're saying is, may advisor ka man o wala, you can achieve it, di ba? That's what you're saying, di ba? But it doesn't mean na it doesn't mean na ma-achieve mo siya ng wala kang ginagawa para sa sarili mo. You have to go through literature, tama ba? You have to, tama ba? That's why, hindi pwedeng uupo ka lang dyan and then you'll achieve financial freedom just like that. Di ba?
Oo naman,
Of course.
loto tawag doon, maghihintay ka lang or ano,
Oo.
it doesn't work that way.
Yes.
Please, I hope people get this. The fastest way to get rich is to do it slow. Meaning, pinagtatrabahuan yun eh. That's why sobrang daming nasa scam because they get lured na, okay, double your money right away or tignan mo tong mayaman na to, ito lang yung ginawa niya. If it's that simple, di lahat tayo sobrang yaman. But hindi eh. If there's one secret, it's just really hard work. It's just really outworking everyone else eh. That nagtatrabaho ka habang yung competition mo sleeping and slacking. There's no secret but just working hard.
Pare, you were saying kanina na information is available everywhere, no? Pagdating sa financial literacy, no? Do you really have to read all these things? Do you need to go through all the books that's out there for you to be financially savvy and in effect achieve financial freedom? Or you just have to be conscious on where you are putting your money and be conscious on your budget? Or dapat ba kombinasyon siya? What can you say about that?
It depends on the person eh. I've seen so many people na kausapin niyo yung mga sobrang matanda na Chinese ngayon. Yung iba sa kanila hindi nga marunong magbasa pero sobrang yaman nila eh. So I really think it depends on who you are as a person eh. If your way of learning is through reading, read as much books as you want. If
Go
your
ahead.
way of learning is through experience and trying it, keep on trying. I think that's what needs to be emphasized, that either it be to videos or reading blogs or reading books or having someone na mas matalino sa'yo nakausap mo araw-araw or hiring an advisor as what we talked about. I think that's more important. And to zoom out further, it's all about learning, that you don't stop learning regardless of what medium you use in order to learn. So yun. Kahit ka TikTok ngayon, people laugh at TikTok, pero there's so much informational content in TikTok right now, from medicine to finance to business, pati attorneys, ang dami na doon. Sobrang dami mga legal advice in TikTok. Sobra. Yun.
So, I think before we end tonight's show, Marvin, do you have any final thoughts or advice for those who are yearning or really wanted to have financial freedom?
Wow. It all goes back to ano yung rason mo kung bakit mo siya ginagawa. Because if your why is bigger, kasi kahit ako when I started out, course ko ng college engineering, I knew nothing about finance, pero the first moment I stepped into my job, sabi ko I won't be an employee forever, and I did not know all of the nuances, pero I knew that ito yung gusto kong maging eh. So I had to find ways on how I could reach that goal. So alamin nyo, why are you doing things? What's the main goal of why you want to do business, why you want to invest, why you want to get that insurance, and then learn along the way. And siguro second thing that I want to point out in learning along the way is don't be scared to make mistakes. We as a nation, no, we frown on people who make mistakes. Eh. Even our educational system frowns on people. Pag naka 65 ka sa report card, you're done. You're not gonna achieve anything. Tell me, every great entrepreneur, every great investor, all of them had massive mistakes in their life, because it's in those failures that make you better. Eh. And even right now, in the midst of the pandemic, that's where you separate the good companies from the bad ones. Eh. Because bad companies, when times are good, lahat yan, kikita yan lahat eh. Pero it's the great ones, it's the exceptional ones, when times are hard, sila yung nag-i-innovate, sila yung nagpipivot, sila yung nag-shift to become better. So, don't be scared to fail. Every time you fail, it's an opportunity for you to learn, to take yourself to the next level also. So, yun. I hope that was a good and that
Well
was a good
said.
answer.
Oh, well said, pare. Oo. Thank you, Thank you so much, Marvin. At
Yeah.
binigyan mo kami ng pagkakataon na makasama ka ngayong maulan na gabi ng Wednesday, ha. Oh, wala ka bang wala ka bang seminars na ipo-promote, webinars, wala
No
pa
naman,
ngayon?
nandito lang ako dahil invite. So, to backstory, basta si Ren Agawa nag-invite sa akin, sobrang hirap mag-say ng no sa kanya. So, ayun, I'm just here dahil si Ren
Parang
Agawa.
ngayon lang
So,
kita
ayun.
in-invite. Ngayon lang kita in-invite. Ano pala, pare, bati mo naman yung mga fans mo sa opisina namin. Nagulat akong meron eh. I-shoutout mo naman yung mga fans mo sa St.
Kamag-anak ko
Peter
yan.
Group.
Mag-anak ko yan.
I-shoutout na rin natin si Mark Abisami, si kakasal yan sa Sunday. So, best
Mark,
wishes. Sa mga
regaluhan yung asawa ng St. Peter Insurance. Memorial plan, no?
Pare, meron pa sa finance namin, si Mr. Jeboy Arreglo. Yan ang mga fans ko sa opisina. Tsaka si Mamen Lopez. Hi mo naman, pare.
Hello.
Suplado ka naman sa totoong buhay. Grabe.
May isa pa tayong classmate na office mate nyo eh. I forgot her name.
Boss ko, pare, si Ma'am Jo.
Yun.
Hi mo naman.
Hello. So, siya yung makakapagsabi na gano'ng kayaman si Ren Agawa. So,
Buti na lang pare 8:01 na. Patapos na tong klase. Hindi klase tuloy. Patapos na yung show. Hindi na kita iipitin pa dito sa show natin. So, once again guys, thank you so much for being with us tonight. Hope everyone was able to learn a lot. I'm sure everyone was able to learn a lot tonight, no? And again, thank you Marvin for giving us a chance to interview you tonight. JD?
So thank you again to our viewers for joining us tonight for another timely and relevant episode of Life Matters. So remember, do take care, strictly follow health and safety protocols, and stay safe because
Life matters!
Happy
weekend!
Happy weekend! I got
Stay
it!
safe always.
Boom! Bye-bye. Bye, everyone.
Bye, guys!